Beard Wizard family, beer enthusiast, friends, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is another episode of Battle of the Retro American Beers. It's something I was doing through the summer and kind of stopped. The challenge of this is finding some of these beers, especially locally. But before we jump into all of that, make sure you click the red subscribe button, join the Beard Wizard family, and check out the other ways to support the channel in the video description below. We have our new merch link is down there. I should have a new hat to show off here soon. New Patreon is down there if you want to help support the channel that way, and I'm slowly adding rewards to the Patreon as I think of things. What else is down there? I fixed the link to the Twitch channel. I didn't realize for, I don't know, ever the link to my Twitch channel has been broken, so I fixed that. Lots of ways to check us out and support us, so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So what is this? If you're unfamiliar, I took beers, retro American beers that used to be popular, used to be pretty well known, and slowly either fell off the market, closed down, were purchased, rebought, etc., etc. And some of these beers are starting to make a comeback, at least in a small scale. And this is not beers just because they've been around forever. Bud Light has been around, Budweiser's been around forever. We're not doing Budweiser. These are beers that are hard to find or harder to find, usually regional. They're contract brewed, which means they're not even brewed at the same brewery they originally were. Some other brewery like Pabst or another one actually makes a little bit of this specialty beer and sells it a little bit at a time. Or another company contracts with a larger company to use their brewery to brew a batch or two every once in a while. So that's the contest. We're going to figure out who is the best. And as we get through the first round, which we're going to have one more show, I realized I have an odd number of beers. So we got one more show after this one, and that'll be the first round. And then we move into the round two as we whittle these down in a bracket style format. Now, if you're familiar with the Battle of the Beer Advent calendars, I like this to be as informational as possible. So I looked up some information for you. And up first, we're going to show you the can. Up first from Hamm's Brewery, we have Hamm's, which is an American classic premium beer born in the land of sky blue waters, it says. Since 1865 on the can here, brewed in the true family tradition from purest water and the choice of barley malts, grains, and hops. So that is Hamm's. I mean, it's got a really nice can. It's got a pretty traditional looking can. I don't think they changed a lot since the original. Hamm's Brewery, like a lot of breweries, was founded in Minnesota. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, a lot of your breweries came out of that area. Theodore Hamm's Brewing Company, originally in 1865 out of St. Paul. This company actually lasted quite a while, and even through Prohibition, they made soft drinks and food products, which allowed them to continue to make money and stay alive. And then they were able to go back to making beer. Hamm's saw success becoming the fifth largest brewery in the nation by the 1950s. And then let's see here, in 1975 is when Hamm's sold a bunch of their distributors to Olympia Brewing. Pabst purchased Olympia along with Hamm's in 1983. And it was then that the flagship brewery is traded over to Stroh's, which we've had Stroh's on the show. And Stroh's continued to operate the brewery until 97 when it closed down. Operation that ended the 137-year brewing tradition on that site. In 2016, Sam Miller, S.A.B. Miller, Miller Coors, and Molson looks like bought the rights, and that is sort of what has happened to Hamm's since then. So pretty fascinating history for them. Now, they are facing off against a beer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Blatz. Blatz beer, established in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1851. Some really old old breweries. So Valentin Blatz Brewing Company was founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Produced Blatz beer from 1851 to 1959, so just over 100 years. Then the label was sold to Pabst, which that Pabst seems to have collected a lot of these retro beers under their umbrella to sort of keep those traditions alive, which is kind of cool. I mean, their wiki page for Blatz goes into, there was a major fire that destroyed the original, or much of the original brewery. During Prohibition, they produced non-alcoholic beverages such as malt soap, sodas, and near beer from 1920 to 33. In 33, they were issued a permit granting permission to resume brewing beer. So they were involved in the 53 brewery strike. I mean, a lot of history around both of these breweries, which I love. I'm a history buff. Hopefully you guys find this stuff interesting. But yeah, I like that about them. Now, we've got these two beers here in front of us, and they look virtually identical. They had about the same head pour. They have the same retention on the foam. Same bubble, same color. Like, they literally look identical. You would not know the difference between these beers just looking at them. It's for some reason I expected the Blatz to be a little darker. I don't know why. It was just, I guess, just a notion I had in my head that I thought it was going to be darker. So we're going to start from the left. Hamm's up first. This is Hamm's. Cheers. Smells like beer, like Dad's beer is what it smells like. It smells like the beer my dad drank. Tastes like the beer my dad drank. It tastes. I don't want to say that. It does not taste exactly like Bud Light, which is what my dad drank like all the time. This actually has more flavor. This is actually better than Bud Light, which is something. That's not half bad. I mean, I would not go out of my way to like buy this and drink it. And keep in mind, I'm a beer snob. I like good, expensive beer. But this isn't bad. This is, if this were free somewhere or somebody handed me some of these, and I would not mind drinking that at all. That's not half bad at all. I wouldn't buy it. And unfortunately, in these two cases now, my buddy Jeremy bought the Hams and gave me a few. And then I bought the Blatz because you have to here anyway. You can't get a small package. I had to buy a case of Blatz, and I'm not sure if Jeremy had to buy a 30-pack or a case of Hams. You just can't get it any smaller around here. So hopefully the Blatz is good because I've got almost a whole case in my basement. A little palate cleanser there. All right, now on to the Blatz. The Blatz. Smells about the same. Yeah. Okay, that has. I'm trying to figure out if that has more flavor or more carbonation. It's just hitting differently. That's interesting. I'm not sure. There's a little bit something on the back end of the Blatz that I didn't get with the Hams. All right, we're going to try one more palate cleanse and we're going to see. I think the Blatz, they are so similar. My goodness, they are so similar. It's really hard to tell. They're almost identical in flavor profile. I mean, they look the same. They smell the same. They almost taste exactly the same. But there is a little more flavor. There's something in the Blatz that I'm not sure what it is, but it's a little bit more. It takes it just a little bit away from like the dad beer kind of flavor that I'm getting from the hams. And it's a tough call because they are so similar. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Blatz on this one. Blatz definitely is moving on to the next round, where it will face off against one of the winners, like maybe Schlitz or Stroh's. I'm not sure which one. Mickey's, I think, was one of the other winners. So yeah, Blatz is moving on to the next round. The hams is actually good too, surprisingly, and Blatz falls in the same category. Not a beer I would go out of my way to buy. Excuse me. But if somebody were to hand it to me, I would not turn. Oh, pardon me. I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. It's actually got some flavor, surprisingly enough. So, not terrible at all. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I got to find one more pair of retro American beers. We're going to do one more of this first round. Then we're going to move on to the next round and see who wins. And finally, once we get to the end, crown our victor of the retro American beers, the best retro American beers I can find here in Central Illinois. And yeah, then I'll come up with another review show. I've already got one churning in the works. I just got to see if I can wrangle a friend to do it with me. We'll see. I'll see you guys all again soon. I'll probably be on Twitch tonight playing some Tarkov, so stop in. And tomorrow, maybe something new as well on the Warning Wednesday. I'll see you guys all again soon. You have a great one. Much love.